I forget so many of the movies we did at the beginning. And I'm
So
like, oh
did
yeah,
I.
we did Burlesque.
Yeah.
Remember when we talked about Burlesque and then The Lake House?
Yeah.
You were really swinging for the fences on those two.
I was.
Didn't turn out so well.
No, it didn't. But we learned.
We learned that Burlesque and The Lake House are both awesome.
Okay.
But like terrible, but awesome.
But terrible.
I kind of already forgot that Love Hard exists.
Yeah.
That movie didn't stay with me.
No, that one definitely didn't leave a lasting impression. I also forgot about A Simple Favor, and I forgot about Darjeeling Limited.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
I forgot about that one, and then I remembered it.
Well, you know what that means, everyone? Welcome to an episode, a very, very special episode of I Love This, You Should Too. This is our 150th-ish episode spectacular. I think it's 151 right now.
I think so, yeah.
But every 50 episodes or so, we do a special awards show.
Woohoo!
My name is Indy Cumberbund Randawa, and with me is Samantha Ballgown Hees.
That is how I am known. Hello.
Hi. We are members of the Alberta Podcast Network, which is locally grown and community supported. So today, like I said, we are doing our special anniversary episode. I guess this is 3 years? This is our third one of these, right?
Yeah, we're going into season 4.
Whoa. We've been doing this for 3 years.
I know.
It kind of seems like longer, but also shorter.
I know. And I
like
don't...
everything in the world now.
I listen to a lot of podcasts that have been going for years, like Last Podcast and that kind of thing. So I don't think 150 episodes is actually that cool.
Right.
But then I spoke on a panel a couple weeks ago, and like everyone did like a full like turn of the head to look at me when I said we were celebrating like 150 episodes.
Yeah. We're putting out quality content every week.
Every week.
We haven't missed a week yet.
No, we haven't. And we had COVID, and we've been sick quite a few times, and we've moved. So,
But you know what? We're still here for you.
Yes, we
our
are.
listening audience.
yeah, I'm excited to reminisce about the past 50 episodes.
Yeah, we're going to give out awards, go over some stats, and because stats are fun, right? People love hearing stats.
Everyone loves statistics.
But I think these stats are actually fun.
They are. No, when it's in this context, it's definitely fun because we get to like hear like the oldest movie or like the newest movie or the biggest budget movie we watched.
Yeah.
Those are all fun.
But before we get into that, let's thank our first sponsor of our anniversary episode. And our first sponsor, fitting, is the Alberta Podcast Network itself.
Aww.
Which, like we always say, is locally grown and community supported. And it is just that. They are all local podcasts and podcasters. And we're just trying to kind of make a supportive network. And part of that is giving a shout out to another podcast that we may be fans of. And one that I like listening to is Three Kitchens. And Three Kitchens is a podcast about home cooking, and the hosts, Heather, Aaron, and Sarah, like to bring in what they might be cooking, what they've eaten, what they've tried, and it's a nice kind of casual talk about food and kind of the communities that food builds.
That sounds like a really interesting podcast.
And I'm not just talking about them because I like the podcast, but I'm trying to like get in. Maybe they'll give me a guest spot.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I like cooking. I'm a solid cook.
I'm a novice cook.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're interested, you can find Three Kitchens wherever you're listening to this podcast. At the time of recording, one of the most recent episodes that I listened to is about a Ghanaian peanut stew. And I got very hungry listening to it, so I think, well, I could just try to make it, or maybe I'll be best friends with them, and then they can give me some of theirs, and then I'll make them, I don't know, whatever my good thing is that I make.
Fish tacos.
I make a decent fish taco.
You make very good fish tacos.
Yeah.
I'm spoiled for fish tacos.
That's true. We do have that pretty often these days. So go check out Three Kitchens, and you can go over to albertapodcastnetwork.com and find the full list of all the other shows on the network. All right, Samantha, let's get into it. 150 episodes. First, how do you feel this, let's call it season 3, episodes 100 to 50 have gone?
I think they went well. This was the season we had COVID, we moved, we are planning a wedding. It's been a crazy season for us, like, personally.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed that we just kept up on our episodes.
True.
How about you? How do you feel about this season?
I feel this season isn't the most indicative of my movie tastes.
Oh.
We started off this podcast with me saying, like, okay, I'm not going to make you watch movies from the 70s constantly.
Right.
I'll, like, space them out. 0 movies from the 70s this whole season.
Too far.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I've been trying to give things that people like a little more.
Uh-huh.
Like doing some Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Muppet Christmas Carol. Although I guess things like I'm a Cyborg, but that's okay aren't big crowd pleasers.
We got introduced to some interesting things that we might not have found if it wasn't for you.
But I don't think I did the classic Indies film school nearly as much as I did in the first 2 seasons. So I might need to get back into that. But let's get into what the people are really here for. Hardcore statistics!
Woo! Statistics! Statistic me, baby.
So let's talk about our movies. I assume if you're listening to the award show, you know how the podcast works. We take turns picking movies that the other person hasn't seen. We watch them. The end.
If this is your first episode, you're going to be real confused.
Yeah, this is a weird one. But maybe this is a good one because we don't often talk about the format anymore because we assume everyone knows.
Fair, yes.
So, of the movies that you picked, they had an average IMDb rating of, do you want to guess?
I'm going to say a 6.5.
6.3.
Oh, okay.
And mine on IMDb, want to guess?
9.7.
That's ridiculously high. 7.7. So we're quite close.
Okay, it's closer than I thought we would be.
Rotten Tomatoes, what do you think yours is? It's
They're
out
like
of 100.
percentages, right? Okay. Like, I'm going to hedge my bets and say like 68%.
And what would you say mine was then?
87.
Very close.
Oh, really?
Mine, 88.
Oh.
Your movies, 42.
That's not close to 67.
No, but this 87, 88.
True. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I feel like I brought some Whoppers in this year.
Wait, isn't that good? A Whopper? That means just like a big one.
Oh.
Like the sandwich, the burger from Burger King. Or those little multiples, but those aren't that big.
I love a big Whopper.
Yeah.
What's a better word for that then?
Some real duds, some real bombs, some real stinkers, some real garbage, some real crap, some real shit.
Okay, stop. You're making me feel sad now.
But those, I think, were the most fun ones.
Fair. We did have some fun episodes when we both agreed that they were bad movies.
Like Burlesque. I love Burlesque.
Yeah.
It is a terrible movie. I think I gave it a 3 out of 10.
I think you did.
But I would watch Burlesque again.
I also, it's like a fun background movie. If you're not paying like full attention to it, it's kind of fun.
I think you need to pay full attention to that movie. You can't be doing other things. You need to pay attention to how ridiculous each thing is.
Okay.
So this is one of my favorite ones. We, of course, rate all of the movies out of 10. You rated your own movies, the movies you claim to have loved.
Yeah.
What do you think your average out of 10 is for your own rating?
Like a 4.
And what do you think my ratings for your movies is?
Like a 2.
You rated your own movies that you love 4.5 out of 10 on average. I rated your movies 4.2.
Oh.
So we kind of agreed that your movies were
kind of garbage. Yeah.
And then my movies that I picked, what do you think you rated those?
Like a 7.
You think you rated my movies much better than your own?
Yes.
What do you think I rated my own?
Like also 7.
Well, I don't rate any of my own under 8 because it's all movies I love.
Right. Okay.
So I rated my own 8.75 because it's all 8, 9s, and 10s because I knew I loved those movies.
Uh-huh.
You rated mine a 7.7.
Oh, yeah, because you have better movies than I do.
You know what? IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, and most importantly, you and I agree that yes, I do have better movies. I did budgets as well. My movies had an average budget of only $15 million,
Oh, wow.
while yours averaged $45 million.
I like those big budget whoppers.
Yeah. But fittingly, mine had a much lower box office of an average of $71 million. Yours made an average of $174 million.
Wow.
Those are some big ones.
Those are
some whoppers.
Some whoppers, some real whoppers. I guess like The Step Up and Princess Diaries, those are kind of ones that would have big box office releases for sure.
But you're forgetting the biggest one of all. $407 million in the box office. Your pick, Twilight.
Oh, I forgot we did Twilight this season.
Yeah. Also, somehow, Something's Gotta Give made $270 million.
Peak Keanu Reeves.
Okay, first of all, not peak Keanu Reeves at all.
Oh, okay.
Second, barely in that movie.
True.
And third, I don't think people were going to see Diane Keaton and Jack Nicholson's movie for Keanu Reeves.
I did.
I think that's an added bonus.
I definitely saw it because Keanu Reeves was in it.
But you've never seen like Bill and Ted or Speed.
No.
But you've seen Something's Gotta Give for Keanu Reeves playing a doctor who just wears turtlenecks.
Yeah.
All right. I guess maybe for you, this is peak Keanu Reeves.
I think it is.
You've never seen Point Break.
No.
Peak Keanu Reeves.
Oh. I also haven't seen any of his more recent stuff.
Yeah, you haven't seen John Wick?
No.
Any of them?
I really want to see a John Wick.
They're pretty good.
Maybe season 4 is a John Wick season.
Just all three of them?
Yeah.
All right, I'm down. I thought we were going to continue the Step Up franchise.
I think I'm just going to do all Keanu Reeves movies for season 4.
I am down because you haven't seen a bunch of the early ones that I think are very good.
I feel like I need to complete my repertoire here.
You have to see Speed.
Yes.
Your basis of the compatibility of Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves is the Lake House. Which is, they're not even in the same place or time.
No.
And then they do all those weird mouse kisses at the end. Oh, she's kissing like a little hamster right now.
Gross.
The lowest budget and box office was Chungking Express because it cost less than $1 million and made just more than $1 million.
Right.
Also, probably the greatest movie of all time.
What?
That you gave a 7 to? Come on.
Yeah. I liked it. But I also feel like it was one of the ones where I was like, I don't feel like it's for me.
It's for everyone.
Okay.
It's for lovers.
Mm.
What state is that? Vermont? Vermont is for lovers? Some state that there's
Nebraska? Louisiana.
I don't think it's Louisiana.
Virginia.
Oh,
Virginia
They
is for
sound
lovers.
similar. So your lowest rated movies were Save the Last Dance and I'm a Cyborg, but that's okay. I'm a Cyborg is our biggest discrepancy as well. You gave it a 2, I gave it an 8.
Oh, yeah. See, that's another one that I just feel like I didn't get. It wasn't for me. It was cool. I appreciate it. But yeah, I just didn't really get it. But that's okay.
But you clearly didn't appreciate it. You gave it a 2 out of 10. My lowest was Something's Gotta Give. I gave it 2. And then Save the Last Dance, Twilight, Burlesque, and The Lake House all got 3s.
Real low.
You gave only one perfect 10, despite in multiple episodes claiming that that movie was a perfect 10. Like in Kiki, you said, this is a 10 out of 10 great movie. And your score, however, 9.
No, I gave it a 10.
It says 9 on this chart. Do you want me to change it for you?
I'm changing it right now. I totally gave it a 10 because I remember thinking, oh, I gave 2 10s this season.
And your other perfect 10, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
It was very good.
And that is the only movie, I think the second movie ever, that we've both given 10s to. The first being My Neighbor Totoro.
Oh, Totoro.
That's a 10 out of 10.
Love Totoro. Love a Totoro.
I gave 2 10s to Spider-Man and Chungking Express.
That checks out.
I didn't do the average runtime for movies, but I will say the 6 longest movies we have were all your picks.
It's because I feel like I pick ones that don't know how to edit themselves.
And the 5 shortest movies were my picks.
Oh.
The shortest being Muppet Christmas Carol, Darjeeling Limited, Beetlejuice were all like 90-minute movies. And the longest movie, inexplicably, Something's Gotta Give. It's over 2 hours long.
Did not need to be 2 hours.
Twilight, also over 2 hours. Simple Favor, Burlesque. Those don't need to be that long. We did not bounce around in years nearly as much. Almost everything we did was in the 90s or later. We had a few late 80s, and then, of course, Double Indemnity from 1944.
Right.
But there weren't many of them.
No, they were all like 80s and early 2000s. It's always cool to see like the split of like what years and stuff that we do. And it's interesting to see how many this time that we picked that were all very much within the same like decade.
Yeah, you did 8 movies between 98 and 2006.
Huh.
So that's really your time, because that's your like high school time, I think, right?
Yes, yeah. When I would have started going to see movies. I saw a lot of movies in theaters in junior high. That was like my friend group's Friday night thing, was that we'd get dropped off at the movies and we'd get to go and watch a movie together. So I definitely saw a lot of movies then, and I feel like that's reflective of what we watched this season.
Mm-hmm. I think I'll try to make a conscious effort to, maybe I'll start at the teens and then do one movie per decade or something. Or go backwards.
Like 19 teens or 20 teens?
Oh, I forgot there's 20 teens.
Yeah.
Now. Well, 1918 and 1919, there were some real good movies.
Were there?
Oh, yeah. That's like peak Weimar cinema.
Oh. Okay, well, I look forward to season 4 and our 1919 average.
I keep talking about how, like, I love all those movies, but I haven't put you through it yet, or the audience, because I was like, I'll do more crowd pleasers and people will listen. Nobody's listening. I should just start doing German silent films. You don't seem happy about that. What types of things that I like and or talk about do you want to see more of?
I feel like I'm ready for another 70s movie.
Okay.
I feel like I'm going to try bring more like classic Keanu Reeves.
By classic, you don't mean classic, though. What do you mean by classic?
Well, like I want to see Speed and like Point Break.
Oh, okay.
And,
so
like
actually,
I want to see some of the like original Keanus.
Sure.
And like Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
I think we have to watch that this year.
It's good. It holds up. I've seen it quite recently, I think. After the third one came out, I watched all 3. From you, I want to see more cheer and dance movies. I want to do all the Step Ups and all the Bring It Ons.
Okay.
Because we did one, Bring It On.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite movie ever.
Yes.
Then we did part 5.
Yeah.
And you said, I'm sorry, I'm never going to do another one again. Although I really enjoyed watching it.
Okay, well,
it was terrible.
It is terrible.
I loved it.
They're garbage movies after the first one, but I will take that under advisement.
I want some worldwide #CheerSmack.
Oh, worldwide CheerSmack.
Yeah.
I need to watch that one again. I think there's
for this podcast.
I think there's a like an undercover cheer team or something in that movie.
How are you an undercover cheer team?
I think
like you're all actual cops pretending to be a cheer team, or you're actually a cheer team but nobody knows you are?
Yeah, the second one.
How does that work? How do you compete and nobody knows you're a cheer team?
It's like they play it like a terrorist group almost. Like cheer terrorists.
All I know is I want to see that.
Okay, well, we'll definitely do worldwide CheerSmack on this podcast.
All of them.
We'll see.
Because you have to watch them in order.
Of course.
Same with the Step Ups.
So the Step Ups are canon. The Bring It Ons aren't.
How do you mean?
Like there's like an order you have to watch the Step Ups in.
Yeah.
Because they're all in the same universe.
Right.
Bring It On isn't.
Oh.
Bring It On is its own like freestanding movies.
Oh, that's less fun.
So I feel like every so often someone writes a Bring It On movie and they're like, well, the last one made money or the first one was like blockbuster hit, so we may as well make this one too.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're standalone. They're not all like a universe of Bring It On, which is sad.
It is. Well, I promise we won't just sit here and chat for the rest of the time. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do our awards.
Awards.
I don't even need to put in theme music now because we got that.
I'm always here to sing words so that we don't need theme music.
Are you? Okay, I'm holding you to that.
Okay.
Could you do a little jingle for best animal friend?
We love kitties, we love puppies. It's time to crown the best one.
That was great.
That was just off the top of my head.
So there's no reason any of you out there would know this, but I constantly make up songs to Samantha's amusement. And then whenever I ask her to do one in exchange, she just won't.
So I've had
that was great.
I've had a glass and a half of wine, and I think that's my sweet spot for making up songs.
No, it's 7.
It's 7?
Yeah, I remember that one night you were just like...
Coming up with songs?
Yeah, you were just freestyling.
Oh, okay.
You were like a young Warren G.
I don't think I remember that. But...
No, you don't. You didn't recall any of it. But our first one of our favorite categories of these movies that we have watched, and I believe there's 24 of them. And those movies, starting with Samantha's picks, were Heather's, Practical Magic, Save the Last Dance, The Princess Diaries 2, Something's Gotta Give, Step Up to the Streets, The Lake House, Twilight, Burlesque, A Simple Favor, and Love Hard. And mine were Double Indemnity, Beetlejuice, Kiki's Delivery Service, The Muppet Christmas Carol, Cool Runnings, Chungking Express, I'm a Cyborg But That's Okay, The Darjeeling Limited, The Orphanage, Let the Right One In, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and then a special episode on Bob Marley.
Mm-hmm. Wow, we've really covered it all.
Really have. But of those movies, Samantha, who was your best animal friend? We'll call this the Wicket Memorial Award.
My best animal friend would be Fat Louie from Princess Diaries 1 and 2.
Great pick. Inspired pick.
Yeah.
Fat Louie, of course, was the cat. He's fat and funny.
And just like kind of grumpy.
Yeah.
And wears a tiara from time to time.
That's right, Fat Louie.
What about you, Indy? Who's your best animal friend?
Well, I, of course, had trouble picking, so I have nominees and then my winner. My nominees were Fat Louie, Jeff the dog from Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh, yeah.
Kermit the Frog.
Fair.
From Muppet Christmas Carol, but I have to give it to Gigi the cat from Kiki's Delivery Service.
No surprise there.
Gigi is great, in my top 3 talking black cats of all film.
Yeah.
Very good for that. And Gigi's funny as Phil Hartman, funny in the Japanese as well, and
fair.
Super cute.
Yeah. I agree with that one. I did think about Kiki, but Fat Louie just wears a tiara too well to not get that award from me.
Well, let's do the companion one. Best human friend. Again, I had nominees. I went with Takeshi Kinishiro's unnamed character in Chungking Express, because he's a good guy, just trying to do the best he can. When his girlfriend breaks up with him, he calls over there and just talks to her parents because he's like, well, I don't want them to miss me. I kind of miss them. I have Anna Kendrick's character from Twilight.
Oh.
Because she seems very easy to impress.
Yeah.
Because Bella comes in and she's like, oh my God, you're so cool and beautiful. You're from, where's she from? Arizona? How amazing. So everyone needs a friend like that who is just constantly impressed by
like
the smallest
friend.
things.
Yeah.
And I had Miles Morales from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Just a good kid out there trying to do his best. But my winner, we're going back actually to the same movie, and we're going with Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service.
You would be best friends with Kiki.
Because Kiki loves hanging out with a cat. Lives in a bakery.
Yeah.
So those are my 2, I would be friends with anyone who had those 2. But on top of that, she can fly, has some magical powers, and her biggest power is helping others. And isn't that what you want in a friend?
Very true.
So Kiki is my best human friend.
Oh.
Who do you have?
I had to give it to Stephanie, played by Anna Kendrick from A Simple Favor.
Oh, another Anna Kendrick.
She seems very handy to have as a best friend because she can do pretty much everything as a mom, and she seems upbeat and nice, and much like her character in Twilight, she seems like she'd be a really good hype woman.
That's a very good pick. In fact, the premise of that movie is that she is such a good friend, she kind of gets used for that.
Exactly.
Let's move on to the Kate Hudson Memorial Award. And that award is given to a character that you hate, but is not meant to be hated or a villain. Just someone you just couldn't stand on screen.
Well, for this one, and it's always fun to kind of look back and see which characters you really didn't like. I have to give it to Lily from Princess Diaries.
Before you even get into it, maybe I'll announce mine. My nominees were Bella from Twilight, very annoying. Channing Tatum in Step Up 1, because you know that that's a charismatic guy, and this movie took all of it out of him, and all he did was go like, oh, He's just like a sullen 13-year-old, but giant and wore giant clothes.
But giant, yeah.
But, of course, I had to give it to Lily from Princess Diaries.
Oh, I
agree.
So we don't discuss who we're nominating beforehand. This is the first time we're hearing each other's picks, and I think it's funny that we both picked Lily.
She was very hateable.
She was, and she's supposed to be such a good friend.
She's the opposite of that.
She is the opposite. She sucks, and she is not like self-aware enough to realize how much she sucks.
And I never want to badmouth actors, especially when they're young, but she was bad in that.
She's bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything she said was in caps and had exclamation marks at the end.
And it didn't seem to stem from the scene. Her reactions never seemed appropriate to what was going on.
She was like acting inside a vacuum.
Well, we all hate Lily, but let's go on to one that was very hard this season.
Yeah, we didn't watch a lot of movies with this in it.
No, and it is the John Hamm Award for Best Cameo. Did you have a winner?
I didn't.
I don't have nominees. I only have one winner, and it's Bill Murray in Darjeeling Limited. Bill Murray is going to be in all of Wes Anderson's movies, even if it's just for a minute. And in this one, he is running for a train. He doesn't get it.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
I was struggling. I literally Googled every single movie that we watched this season, and I could not find a good cameo.
Yeah, we didn't have many cameos, but I love Bill Murray. He is one of my top 5 favorite actors ever. And anytime you get to see him, it's good. All right, let's go to, what should we call this award? The Indian Samantha Award for Best Couple?
Yes, because we are.
We're the best. So best couple in any of these movies, who do you have?
I couldn't find one.
You couldn't find one?
No.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you couldn't narrow it down.
I struggled with this one. So I'm interested to hear yours, and maybe I will pick one of them.
Oh, okay. So my nominees, Il-soon and Young-gun from I'm a Cyborg, but that's okay.
Uh-huh.
You get a couple of people very unbalanced in different ways, kind of learning and helping each other. You have Ile and Oscar from Let the Right One In. They're both 13, but one's also maybe 300. There's some interesting ideas of whether or not there is actual affection there. Maybe one is just using the other. Both very good performances, though.
Fair.
You also have Tony Leung's unnamed cop character and Faye Wong, who just plays a character named Faye from Chungking Express. How could you not pick them? Because they're both adorable. Tony Leung is super handsome and a good guy. Faye Wong is super charming and cute. But instead, I'm going with, from Beetlejuice, Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin.
Oh.
Because they are a good couple.
They are.
They are perfect for each other in life. There's some hints that they've tried to have a child and it didn't work out. But rather than that filling them with sorrow, they just realize, like, you know what? That's going to make us stronger because what we have is each other. And it continues on after death. They die and then they're still in love. And they seem like they'll be in love forever because now they are ghosts haunting that house and they seem happy about it.
I think I have to agree with you because, yeah, they do. They seem like they're in love. They seem to work really well together. They are just adorable. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, if you're still good after you die, then why wouldn't you stay together forever?
Yeah. They're like, till death do us part? No thanks. We'll just keep going.
We'll just keep going. No more parting.
Well, maybe you have something more for this one then. Let's go to the Rhett and Scarlett Award for Worst Couple. Who did you hate?
For this one, I picked Tyler and Nora from Step Up 1. Because they had inexplicable arguments and just like didn't communicate properly. And that was like the whole conflict of the movie was just them not communicating.
And very forgettable pair together, which is especially surprising because they fell in love and got married.
On the set of this movie.
No chemistry.
No chemistry at all. And they just like, it doesn't make any sense. So I picked them because they had no chemistry, even though they had chemistry in real life. And like all of their disagreements and all of the conflict in this movie could have been like remedied by just like communicating.
Yeah, that's romantic movies of the last 20 years though.
Very true.
They can't make actual conflict, so they just have people get upset about nothing.
That's very true.
It's annoying.
So Indy, what was yours?
Well, my nominees are Mia Thermopolis and that grungy M&M kid who has like just handfuls of M&Ms inside his guitar.
No, it was on his keyboard.
Oh, on his keyboard, whatever. In his pockets, they're just falling out of his ears. Just M&Ms everywhere.
I want
and
M&Ms
he's
to
gross.
fall out of my ears.
I don't think you do.
It sounds scary.
Yeah, it does. We have Christina Aguilera and that pajama boy from Burlesque.
Oh, pajama boy.
Who has like a sexy pajama striptease.
Yes.
They were terrible. I hated both of them, but I also really liked watching them on screen. We have the very problematic pairing in Save the Last Dance. I've forgotten the characters' names, but I didn't like them.
Those two.
Yeah. I didn't mind the guy. He was fine. I didn't like Julia Stiles' character.
No.
She's a bit of a dick.
Too much of a dick.
But my winners, people who had proven screen chemistry, but then what do we do when we get them in a movie together again? Keep them apart for the entire movie.
Oh, I know who won this one.
Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock for The Lake House.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not familiar, you should go out and watch The Lake House because it's a romance about people who are not in the same time, but somehow communicate through instant text messages, but they're actually paper letters that go through a time-traveling mailbox.
I love a time-traveling mailbox.
That is actually the premise of this movie.
It's very strange.
And then they also could have solved their problems very easily by communicating, despite the fact that they are constantly writing to each other. They never just say, like, hey, here's my phone number.
Yeah.
These dummies. And then it takes them 4 years to meet, and when they do, they have the grossest kissing ever.
You were, like, really upset about that.
Watch it.
It's gross.
It was gross.
It's gross.
There you go. Gross kissing. That means Keanu and Sandra win. I was just looking. There's no real order to these, and they probably should have been in a different order, because now we're doing Best Performance.
Oh.
Which is like a real award.
Should we save that one for the last?
Nah, let's just keep going. Which I have called the Audrey Hepburn Memorial Award.
Fair. So for this one, I had to give it to Michael Caine as Ebenezer Scrooge in A Muppet Christmas Carol, because he was like the only human in that movie.
And he went for it. He played it just as good as Michael Caine could. Yeah. If he were doing this on stage in London, he would give the same performance, and I think that's what the strength of that movie was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of my nominees. My other ones were Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. Mm-hmm. Not a big role, but very funny. Tony Leung in Chungking Express, because he's my favorite actor, and that's my favorite movie. But I think I'm going to give it to Belén Rueda in El Orfanato, The Orphanage.
Oh.
She is the lead of that movie, and she's the emotional core of that movie, and she has to do a lot of work because she is playing a mother whose child is missing, which is a very strenuous performance to give. And she does it. She nails it. I think that is the strength of that movie. And when you have a horror movie and you have it deeply rooted in reality through a performance like that, it lets all of those supernatural things have more feasibility and shine. So that's my best performance.
Oh, I like that. I agree. I agree with that.
Good.
That was very, very good.
All right, now the Jimmy Fallon Award for Worst Performance.
Indy, who you got?
Well, my nominees, Robert Pattinson as Edward Cullen.
Uh-huh.
Channing Tatum as Tyler Gage. Both of them very bad.
Yes.
Both of them capable of so much more.
Like, both fantastic actors now. Like, I don't understand what happened.
And that holds true for my winner, Kristen Stewart as Bella Swan.
That's very interesting you say that because I also picked Kristen Stewart as Bella Swan.
She was terrible.
She
And we
was
don't want
terrible.
emails about like, oh, but did you see her in this? We're not talking about that.
No.
We're talking about this movie and she was garbage.
And I believe in that episode we both said both of these actors have gone on to do really interesting, like thought-provoking roles. And neither of them shone in this movie.
In this one, she just tisks and just does a lot of it's just a lot of that.
Yeah.
So much.
Lots
and
of eye rolling.
it was painful to watch.
It was.
If I knew a person like that, I would hate them.
Me too.
And then you could say, oh, maybe that's what they're going for. But everyone in this movie inexplicably thinks she's the greatest thing ever.
Right?
Oh my God, you're from Arizona. You're so cool.
You're so pretty.
Ugh.
I can't stay away from you
You're
because you're
so
pretty.
charming.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like cold, wet things. She sounds like she has a stomachache all the time.
Yeah. Or like she's like about to sneeze.
Yeah. Or
She's
throw
like,
up.
She's like, hang on. Like when you like just stop talking.
She's about to everything. She's about to sneeze, throw up, and poop.
She's not sure what's going to happen.
One of those things is going to happen, and she's like, well, if I do too much, any one of them can happen, and I don't know which one it's going to be. So she's trying to contain all of that.
Very good way to put it. Because, yeah, she's like not sure what's going to happen, but she knows something's going to happen.
It's not going to be good.
Yep. That's fair.
I had a break here for our couple argument because every year we take to this to air one of our grievances. But our grievances are always like, the first one was you claimed that in a fruit salad, all fruits taste the same.
Yes.
Which is madness because they are different fruits.
I still
A grape
maintain
is
that.
not an apple, is not a strawberry.
No, they all taste the same. There's like fruit taste.
I feel like my cooking is being wasted on you.
No.
Because you're like, I don't all taste the same.
I can taste everything else. It's just like, there's like, it all oozes together and then it just tastes like fruit.
I think last year's was about blowing your nose, how you refused to blow your nose and have never done it.
Yeah.
That's odd. But I don't really have one this year. I guess last night I'd said something about a person being named Gina, and you're like, that's not a name. No one's named Gina. So, Gina Davis, we just talked about.
Yeah, you're right.
Are you Gina Gershon?
Okay, I take it back.
All right, I won this year's annual couple argument. People are, in fact, named Gina. That was the easiest argument I've ever won.
Good job.
Because I just had to list a few Ginas.
Yeah.
It was a very odd stance for you to take.
It was, and I don't remember why I took that stance.
You're just adamant that nobody's named Gina. That I just made that up.
I plead a temporary insanity.
Oh, this is a fun category. Who would you least want to be haunted by?
Oh, can I go first?
You can.
I said the Heathers.
Oh, that's good.
Because it's like bullying, but they're dead and you can't do anything about it.
And you know the three of them would get together.
Yeah, they'd all like work together and make your life hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. My nominees were Beetlejuice. Because he does haunt people and it's very bad for them.
I thought about that, but that was too on the nose, I think, for me.
My other nominee was Christina Aguilera from Burlesque. Because just imagine this. You wake up at night, you hear something, you go down the stairs and all you hear is... You're like, oh my God, what was that? And then you think that's it? No, the singing goes on. That one note lasts for 36 seconds.
Yeah.
It just keeps going.
Yeah, I think I'd rather just screaming than Christina Aguilera doing like vocal runs.
But my winner from Something's Gotta Give, crying Diane Keaton.
Yes, because she scream cries.
If you've never seen crying Diane Keaton from that movie, there's a sequence where she scream cries for 3 minutes, and it's funny.
It's alarming.
Yeah, so it would just be that.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be worse than Moaning Myrtle.
I get
crying
that.
Diane.
Fair. Ooh.
How about the Sixth Sense Award for Biggest Surprise?
Oh, I had a hard time with this one because we didn't have a lot of like twist movies. So I gave it to Bob Marley because I didn't know about his life and I was very surprised to learn about it.
You didn't know that the CIA tried to kill him.
Yeah.
Don't trust the CIA.
That's a twist.
Yeah.
Biggest twist of the season, I'd say.
That the CIA often tries to kill people who promote love and acceptance.
Shame on you, CIA.
Just saying.
Shame on you.
Oh, there you go. Now you're on notice. Samantha shamed you publicly on this podcast that is listened to by literally tens of people. So
I'm
now
scared.
they're going to be...
Am I going to be on a watch list
You
now?
are.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to fly anywhere.
It's going to be really hard to get on a plane now.
My nominees were The Changing Quality of A Simple Favor.
Right?
I loved some of that movie.
Yeah.
I did not love all of it.
No,
It was uneven.
It was very uneven. It wasn't written properly or edited properly.
Maybe. The amount of rampant student murder in Heathers.
Uh-huh.
But I went with the fact that Step Up 2 has a inspirational speech about how private school kids should be able to take whatever they want from the urban youth of Baltimore.
Yeah.
And it was their pro-cultural appropriation speech. And everyone's like, yeah, that's the best. And then they all applaud.
Yeah.
So that was an odd thing to see
It
in that
wasn't a
movie.
choice.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite categories, because we usually are eating a meal while we're watching our movies, is the Most Delicious Food Award. So mine went to an entire movie, which was Something's Gotta Give, because they had pancakes, handmade pasta, and a full farmer's market full of cheese and vegetables. And I was sufficiently hungry throughout the entire thing because everything looked so delicious.
I did, in fact, forget about this, but off the top of my head, I gotta give an honorable mention to the Italian food that they cook for Bella in Twilight, because they're like, her name's Bella, she's Italian, I assume, and therefore loves pasta. And she didn't even get to eat any of that.
No, because she's like, oh, I ate before I came.
Because you folks don't eat because you're vampires.
Which is like a fair assumption on her part.
Yeah. Another honorable mention to all of the baked goods in Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yes.
Really all Miyazaki food. If Spirited Away was here, that would win, clearly, because Miyazaki food is great. But I am going to give it to all the takeout food from Chungking Express.
Oh, fair. Yeah, there was a lot of food in that movie.
So whenever I watch it, I want to eat a can of pineapple because that's such a big thing in that movie. But I love that one sequence when Takeshi Kaneshiro orders, I think, like 3 hamburgers and 2 chef salads up to the room while Bridget Lynn is sleeping. And that makes me very hungry for that kind of food.
Yeah, I would totally eat all that food in that movie.
Let's give the Best Audio Award, the Conversation Memorial Award.
Because Conversation is dead?
No, maybe the movie The Conversation is about, maybe we'll watch it this season.
Okay.
It's a Gene Hackman movie. It's about audio a lot of the time.
Oh, okay. Indy, who are your runners up for this?
Well, you have Beetlejuice, a great score by Danny Elfman, and sometimes over-the-top sound effects that kind of suit that world.
Yes.
Chungking Express, I love that score. It's beautiful. It fits that movie. Because of this movie, that's the sound of Hong Kong to me now.
Oh.
But my winner, based largely on the soundtrack, is the Darjeeling Limited.
It was a good soundtrack.
Very good soundtrack. It's one of I don't own a lot of soundtrack albums, but I have that one. Of course, there's great things like the Kinks on there, but he also managed to incorporate a lot of 1950s Indian music that suits it very well.
Yeah, some of that stuff is really good. And I remember they go to like a Sikh Gurdwara, and there was a song that plays, and I was like, I know that song.
That's my jam.
Yeah, that's my favorite one from Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So Darjeeling wins mine. How about you?
I had to give it to Bob Marley.
Oh, well, yeah. That fits.
There's so much music that I don't always like cognizantly remember is Bob Marley, and so much of it I like learned the deeper meaning of, and I think that audio really stuck with me for a couple weeks after recording that episode.
Nice. I'm glad that you enjoyed that episode. I felt like the ones, it's kind of just me talking, so
Yeah.
you don't get the same feedback as much, so I don't know if those ones are as good.
Well,
so
and you know I love a PowerPoint.
That's true. Should I do one musician per season, perhaps?
Sure.
All right.
Should I do a musician? I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see when you're ready for your Taylor Swift episode.
Oh, I feel like I have to start.
See, it's a lot of pressure to do something like that.
It
right?
is.
That's why I still can't do like Taxi Driver on the show, because it's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure and a lot of like prep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now let's go to the Blade Runner Award for Best Visuals.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you have, Sam?
I gave it to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, just for the amount of different like animation styles with all the different Spider-Man.
May I stop you right there, because I'll join in?
Okay.
My nominees, Wes Anderson's Darjeeling Limited.
Yes, I did consider that one.
Beautiful composition, colors, everything you come to expect from Wes Anderson. Wong Kar-wai's Chungking Express.
Uh-huh.
Another beautiful looking movie. So much natural light and much less artifice than what Wes Anderson does, but to a similar effect.
Mm-hmm.
Because he does do some things, like all of that time stepping, that blurry stuff he does. But it feels like Hong Kong to me.
Yes.
This movie is what most encapsulates that place to me. And I think to a lot of people. But I agree. How can you not? Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I just loved the commitment to preserving the cartoon styles of the different spider people.
Yeah, because when you were pitching this, you say like, oh no, Spider-Ham is going to be a cartoon, like a straight up 2D cartoon pig.
Yeah.
People are like, no, you can't just do that the whole time.
And it's like
we'll
a
have
very
one anime character.
3D looking movie to begin with.
Yeah.
And then you get, like Spider-Man and Spider Noir. Is that?
Oh yeah, Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah.
Which was great. And they commit to each one.
And you get like an anime style. Like I really loved that just because of the drawings of those characters.
Yeah. And that is like 10% of what makes that movie visually amazing.
Yeah.
Every frame is worthy of being framed and put on your wall.
Yeah.
It looks so good. So many different art styles, so much attention to detail. They're drawing inspiration from old-timey comic books with the dots. They have the Kirby crackle. Things go out of focus at certain times, and that's mirroring his own spider sense. There's just so much. But go listen to that episode, because we could just talk about that for so long.
I think we did for like 2 hours that episode.
That's maybe our longest episode ever. Yeah.
It was, we just couldn't stop going on and on about how much we liked it.
It's so good. Let's go to one of my other favorite awards. Which world would you most like to live in?
Cool Runnings.
We kind of do.
So.
Oh, yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Go on.
I want to live in that like hopeful, fun, competitive environment.
It's our world, but a little bit nicer, a little more Disney.
It's a little more Disney, and you know I love Disney. So I think I would like to live in the Cool Runnings world of that like 88 Olympics with the Disneyfication.
Yeah, much less drug scandals and more inspirational slow claps.
Yeah.
That's what the Olympics need. Who's next? Like Paris or someone?
Yeah.
Their slogan should be fewer drug scandals, more inspirational slow claps.
Yeah.
That's what I want from the Olympics.
I want one every single day.
One inspirational slow clap or one drug scandal?
Inspirational slow clap per day of the Olympics.
I wonder if they'll stop being effective at that point, though.
Maybe. That's why I was thinking not like every event, but like, or sport.
Yeah, just one a day.
You just like pick one
like
sport.
15 every 2 years. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in.
Okay, great. What do you got for which world would you like to live in?
Which world, indeed. My first nominee, Kiki's Delivery Service,
Fair.
which is a beautiful world. Everyone's a little bit nicer. Witches are real. It's just a more wonderful world.
Definitely a runner-up for me.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Because the gates to the multiverse are open, so there's literally infinite possibilities.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, maybe I just talked myself into that. Infinite possibilities is pretty sweet. But I went with my favorite movie, Chungking Express.
Ah.
I think I gave a much more well-worded answer at the end of that episode. But I talked about how this movie is realist in a lot of ways.
Uh-huh.
People are being murdered. There is crime. There's like a kidnapped child in that movie. But on the other side, there's also just more beauty in the everyday.
Right.
There is more whimsy. Things don't always work out, but it seems like they work the way they should a little bit.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's just a world that is very similar to ours, but everything's just a little bit more meaningful and a little bit more beautiful.
Oh, that's nice.
So I think that would be the world to go into.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Oh, we only have 2 left.
Our final 2 categories.
So let's start off with the Bride Wars Memorial Award for Worst Film.
I had to give this to Save the Last Dance because it did not age well at all.
How so?
I think the way that we approach race in movies is a lot better now. So this one definitely did not do itself any favors and kind of was very stereotypical when it approached like white people versus black people.
It was rough to watch.
It was very rough to watch.
You know what? I'm not going to say anything. Go listen to the episode. I complain a lot on that.
It was rough. So Andy, who you got for worst film of the season?
Well, the nominees are Twilight, a tale about a pale preppy in love with a loaf of bread. Save the Last Dance, a tale of a loaf of bread who goes to an urban school and learns to be street.
Yeah.
They just had no charisma, those 2.
No charisma.
Loaves of bread. But my winner, Something's Gotta Give. An inexplicably successful movie where everyone wears beige turtlenecks.
Yeah, I think only one of the characters actually wears a turtleneck.
Diane Keaton does. Keanu Reeves does.
Oh, yeah.
It's 2.
Right.
Diane Keaton also wears 19 of them.
True. She had the clothing budget for that.
Yeah.
It was all turtlenecks.
And we get to see a turtleneck cut off of her, too.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
So, yeah, Something's Gotta Give, my least favorite of the year.
That is fair.
Because Save the Last Dance and Twilight, they're kind of bad enough to be fun.
Yeah.
There's nothing fun about
It was kind of
Gotta Give.
fun to watch them.
Yeah, like, again, burlesque, a joy to watch. I would watch it right now.
Would you?
It's so fun.
Huh.
Such a bad movie.
Right.
Very fun.
Fair. Okay. It is the final award of the evening or morning, depending on when you're listening to this. Indy, who is your best film of the season?
Well, I only gave 2 perfect 10s, so my runner-up, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse,
Okay.
a movie that works on so many levels, a movie that is important and significant culturally, visually astounding and groundbreaking, and then just a great story that teaches great lessons throughout. Go listen to that episode. I think it's a very good one. But my winner, the movie which after watching it for this, I now claim is my favorite film ever made, Wong Kar-wai's Chungking Express.
Oh.
I feel like trying to say why right here is not something I could do because it's just so good. But we did a full episode on it, so you can go listen to that.
Exactly. Lucky
All I could
you.
say is expertly directed and acted, beautiful score and soundtrack, visually stunning, super low budget, offbeat in the most wonderful way. Somehow it goes between a cutesy romantic comedy to a mysterious crime drama and just kind of everything in between. It's a very unique and stunning movie in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I had a runner-up for this one, and it was Kiki's Delivery Service, because it was just like a wonderful movie. And I think because it was the last one that we did, it was very fresh in my mind.
True.
And it was one that I gave a 10 to, but I have to give it to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse for all the reasons that you said, as well as I was just like excited to learn about like the Spider-Man franchise of the past. And different kind of offshoots like Spider-Ham and Spider-Man Noir and the I can't remember now.
Penny Parker.
And yeah, so like that was really fun to kind of get into, and it was almost like I continued enjoying the movie after we watched it because I was reading about all these different characters.
Yeah, that's definitely one that stays with you.
Yeah.
And part 2 on its way. I didn't realize this. One of my friends, her husband is working on it. So she like put out this little trailer of little things he's working on. And I was like, oh, I know what that's from. I know what this is. So I was very excited.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So just go listen to all of those episodes.
Yeah.
Because they were good.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had a lot of fun
Good
this
movies.
season watching some really interesting movies and some not so interesting movies.
And some that are so terrible that they're extra interesting.
Exactly.
Well, Samantha, this brings us pretty much to the end. So let's call it year 4.
Year 4.
Where do we go from here? What do you want to see in year 4?
I think I want to see some completion of series.
Okay.
I'd like to see more older movies.
Gotcha.
I'd like to explore more decades.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to see more Miyazaki.
All right. But you only get one a year,
I know.
or else we'd get through them too quickly.
I know.
I'm trying to figure out where I should go next, because I think my favorite is Totoro. I think the best is Spirited Away. I think for ones I like, maybe next in line would be Porco Rosso. But that is not the popular choice. I think even ahead of Kiki, you'd have things like Princess Mononoke.
Right.
Maybe we should be doing that. Some of those big ones, big action adventures.
Ooh.
Again, all of the Miyazaki's pretty much I just seen the one time, so
Oh, I'm excited.
it's rediscovering.
I'm very excited.
So I want to get into older movies more often.
Yeah.
I think I want to do more genre stuff. I think I was doing a lot of picks that are like, well, everyone can like this movie.
Right.
And then the weirdest thing, well, maybe outside of Cyborg, was like Beetlejuice. But that's still very accessible, very Hollywood.
So we're going to film school this week.
Well,
or this
maybe
season.
not even. Maybe because I talk about certain movies, like Spider-Verse is peak that type of animation, right?
Right.
And I think Chungking Express is like peak art house.
Right.
I think Double Indemnity is peak noir.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should explore more genres. Like, what about cheesy sci-fi? Can you have a peak of something that is inherently like not a good genre?
Right.
I'd argue Fifth Element,
Oh.
peak cheesy sci-fi.
Mm.
What about like peak 80s slasher horror? We haven't even done Nightmare on Elm Street on this yet.
Oh.
So I think genre, less just good movie and getting into some. I haven't done a musical yet.
Oh, yeah. We need more musicals this
Yeah.
season, I think.
I think more genre films.
More genre. Okay. I'm into it.
And you out there, tell us, what do you want to see? Because we'll just do it.
Yeah, like tell us your favorite movie.
If
Like,
you're
what do
like-
you love that we should love too? Or that we should at least watch and tear apart after.
Yeah, it's going to be one or the other.
Yeah.
And if you just say like, hey, I think you should do all of the Nightmare on Elm Streets for the entire month of October. Okay. We're very easily swayed.
We are. And
It
we
stops us from
often
having to make decisions.
we often struggle. So let's hear from you guys, our valued listeners.
Yeah. Yeah, come on. Pull your weight.
Yeah,
You're not
come
doing
on,
anything
guys.
for us.
What? We just give you episodes and you do nothing with them?
Yeah, people love when we yell at them, right?
Get on it, people.
You. Yeah, right now. They're like, me? Yeah, you.
Yeah, you.
Tell us what you want to watch.
That's right, Kim.
Oh, we're talking right to Kim.
So our second sponsor of the episode is the Alberta Treasury Branch and their podcast, The Future of, which is hosted by Todd Hirsch, TB Financial's vice president and chief economist. The Future of podcast has launched its third season by connecting with industry leaders to uncover what's going on the horizon for things that mean the most to you. The Future of podcast promises to give you insights to help navigate what's coming in an often uncertain future. Explore how our economy and communities can not only brace for change, but embrace the opportunity that it creates. You can subscribe to The Future of in the Apple Store, Google Play, and Spotify, and wherever you're listening to our podcast right now. And you can connect with them at atb.com/thefutureof.
All right. And what are we going to be getting into next week?
Something fun, I think.
Okay. I kind of meant more the format of this podcast.
Okay.
And we'll be returning back to normal next week, where each of us will have a spoiler-free thing of the week, something we're reading or watching that we recommend to you. And then Samantha will let us know what we're going to watch for the big watch the week after that.
Yes, and what we will
Which is going to be fun, I hear.
It's going to be super fun, I hope.
I hope there's dancing in giant pants.
We'll see. That could be a couple different series of movies that I've watched. So
I had, I think, 5 episodes laid out of what I was going to do. And last week brought us to the end of those 5. So I have to kind of find some new ones again.
Got to do some planning.
I do have a list of like 40 on my phone right now.
I know you do. You have had a list of movies since we started this movie podcast.
Yeah, you should too. I'm prepared. You should too.
We'll see. Maybe this is the season where I finally plan everything out.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening and getting us to 150 episodes. But like Samantha contends, you didn't help out at all. So start. Come on.
Whoa.
That's what she said. That's what Samantha Hughes. When does this come out? Are you still Samantha Hughes?
I am still Samantha Hughes for another 2 weeks.
And then she's changing it to Laura Hughes. I can see you being a Laura.
Name to be determined.
Yeah. TBD.
Yes, I am still Samantha Hughes for another 2 weeks, and we will see you.
And I'm still India Randawa. We'll see you next week, everyone.
Bye.
Jerks.
Some jerks. Condo jerks. You know them.
Oh, I do know. Bunch of jerks.
So many jerks. Just jerks everywhere.